Hi, welcome to Unforgotten Reels, where every second counts, and every frame holds something you didn't notice until it's too late. Suspense thrives in the stillness, and fear grows in the space between what's seen and what's felt. Please subscribe for more stories that reward close watchers. Hit like if this one chilled you, and leave a comment with what you caught or missed. Our short film for today is entitled The Witch Who Collected Silence. Here we go. The village felt wrong the moment you stepped into it. The streets were empty. Shutters clung to windows like eyes refusing to open, and the air itself seemed afraid to move. Even the animals had vanished. No bark, no crow, no bird call. The first to lose his voice had been a farmer. His family found him standing in his own field, his mouth trembling, his eyes wide, his throat untouched. But no sound came. Soon after, it spread. A mother, a child, a priest, each left alive but hollow, their voices ripped away. The villagers stopped speaking, as if words themselves had become bait. They whispered nothing, because speaking is what she waits for. And tonight, someone new will fall silent. Elena came to the village with nothing but a recorder, a notebook, and a stubborn refusal to believe in old stories. She asked questions, pressed for answers, but the villagers only shook their heads, their lips trembling with words they dared not release. Finally, one woman bent close enough to be heard. Her voice cracked like it hadn't been used in weeks. "The witch collects silence," she said, "and she never stops listening." Elena wrote it down, her pen scratching against paper. But as she clicked off her recorder, a faint sound bled through the static, something she hadn't captured herself. A laugh, soft, breathless, hiding inside the silence. And for the first time, Elena wondered if she wasn't the one asking the questions, but the one being listened to. That night, alone in her rented room, Elena played back the day's recordings. Between every pause, she heard them. Voices, a child's cry stretched thin with fear, a man begging, his words cut short, a woman's scream splintering into silence. She leaned closer, her skin crawling, her pulse drumming, because woven between them all was her own scream. A scream she had never given, a sound she hadn't made. She stared at the machine in her hands, her breath catching in her throat. The question clawed its way into her mind. Here her scream was already recorded. When would she give it? The next morning, she followed hushed directions to the woods. The trees there leaned too close together, their bark charred and brittle, as though fire had once tried to burn the place, clean and failed. In the clearing stood a stone altar, heavy with the weight of objects abandoned. Broken radios, cracked gramophones, scraps of parchment stained with ink that had bled away. Every piece was tied to sound. Every piece belonged to someone who had vanished. The legend was no story. The witch wasn't a tale to frighten children. She was real. And what Elena didn't yet know was that silence was only half of what she took. She found it inside a hollow tree, a book that seemed to breathe, its skin rough and unnatural, its pages twitching as if trying to close themselves. She forced it open, and the air changed. It vibrated like 1,000 whispers pressing against her ear at once. The stolen voices poured out, cries, gasps, fragments of prayers, all overlapping into a chorus of suffering. And then, on one page, written in shifting ink, she saw her own name, her own words, her own face, already marked down, and she hadn't even spoken them yet. The forest still, not a single branch stirred. Then she saw a figure coalescing from the shadows, tall and bent, her face hidden beneath a curtain of hair. Long fingers extended, blackened at the tips, and lips sewn shut with threads that looked older than time itself. She did not need a mouth. Around her, the stolen voices swirled like a storm, shrieking, sobbing, begging, a sea of sound that belonged to no one anymore. Elena's recorder clicked on by itself, red light glowing, and though the witch never spoke, Elena felt her throat tightening, as if invisible hands were already pressing down. The silence wasn't hers to keep anymore. The witch's hand hovered near Elena's face, her shadow stretching across the ground like a net. But instead of silence, Elena heard voices, hundreds of them, not from the witch, but from inside her. The victims, the lost, the ones who had screamed before her. They begged her not to cry out. They begged her not to give the witch what she wanted. Her lips trembled, her chest tightened. The urge to scream was unbearable, the sound building in her throat like fire. And then, the witch opened her eyes. They were not empty. They were crowded. Thousands of trapped voices stared back from within them. and Alina realized she was already inside that gaze. Alina understood at last. The witch did not come for silence. She came for sound, for the moment of breaking. Every terrified scream fed her, giving her more silence to keep. That was her collection. The recorder in Elena's hand felt heavier. She could destroy it, end the proof, but her voice was already in its reels, waiting. She could not stop what was written. Her body shook. The scream rose higher, desperate to escape. Every instinct begged her to release it, but the witch only stood there, mouthless and patient, because she knew Alina would not hold it forever. The screen goes black, then the recorder crackles. Static twists into a single, piercing sound. Alina's scream, sharp, endless, final. The witch never appears again. She doesn't need to. She already has what she wants. Alina is silent now, her voice torn away, joining the endless echoes. But if you listen closely, even you'll hear it. Beneath the static, her voice, faint but desperate, asking you to give it back, asking you not to leave her here. The witch doesn't just keep voices, she uses them, and once you've heard them, you are already part of her silence. The end. In the story, the witch was not after sound or silence, but fear itself, the sound of surrender when terror finally breaks through. Alina thought she came to record a story. Instead, she became part of one. Perhaps that's the danger of voices. Once spoken, they no longer belong to us. They can be kept, twisted, or stolen. And silence, the one thing we think protects us, may already belong to someone else. Thank you for watching. Every short film is a door. Behind it a world you didn't expect. Subscribe and step inside. Want us to open a new door? Suggest your story ideas or themes in the comments. I am honored to read them through. Until next time.